Hey there, powerful peeps. It's Manny Cabrera, and welcome to Powerful Days with me, Manny Cabrera. I hope that you are having an amazing Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June the 20th. Yet again, we are on sun watch here in Tampa Bay area. I know you guys are like me, that you are getting a little tired of all the rain and not being able to see the sun. In fact, it hasn't really rained today, but the sun still isn't out. It's still really cloudy out. And then I hear that we are about to get some tropical action, so that's kind of crazy. So I'm excited to be online with you guys today in this live video. It's my show that I do Monday through Friday, and I'm excited to share some really great tips on helping your kids avoid the summer brain drain. Also, maybe you've heard of it. It's also called the summer slide. And we're going to talk about how to help your child avoid that or to overcome the potentials of that. So we're going to give everybody a couple seconds to get online. In fact, if your kid is in our summer camp, today was movie day at both of our gyms. And so I think the Wesley Chapel gym went and saw Surf's Up, and our Fishhawk gym went and saw The Secret Life of Pets. So I'm really excited about it. If you don't know, we have two locations. One is here in the lower part of Hillsborough County in Fishhawk. And we have another one just across the county line into Pasco County in Wesley Chapel in the Meadow Point neighborhood. So we're really excited because you know what? We help and we specialize in helping children and adults and teens and everyone in between to develop themselves into the best version of themselves, whether that's physically, intellectually, emotionally, and socially. And we do it through some really incredible martial arts classes, fitness, kickboxing, and a really awesome Israeli self-defense program called Krav Maga. And in addition, we also offer some really great summer camps and stuff like that too. So let's go ahead and let's get started talking about that summer brain drain. So to really provide kind of like a really simple definition of the summer brain drain, wow, it says summer brain drain, also called the summer slide, it's a parent's worst nightmare. It's when your child's months of hard work, upon hours of math homework, late nights working on science projects, and car rides spent quizzing with like history flashcards or spelling words all begins to slip away. To be blunt, the summer slide is what happens when kids spend the summer months without learning or really participating, in what their skill, in their skills, leading to kind of fall behind on the measures of learning and academic achievements. So it's a decay in their learning, which can have really this domino effect in their social, cognitive, as well as their emotional development as well. So here's what we know. Skills deteriorate over time at a rate determined by the specific tasks. So it's predicted by the individual's original level of learning. So if the method yielding the highest initial learning level will lead to the highest level of skill retention over time. So if they were already really, really good at spelling, if they're really, really good at reading, if they're really, really good at those language arts style activities, well, then their slide on those things is going to be a lot less. However, let's say they were in Spanish, they took Spanish 1, maybe you have a middle schooler, and they took Spanish last semester for the very first time, and they're not really, that strong or proficient in it because it was their first time ever taking it. Well, the chances are that your child's retention of that material is actually going to be less than other subjects where they were already pretty strong. So essentially it comes down to the very, very simple cliche phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. But obviously it happens at different rates depending on the task. So as educators here at Sidekicks, we really, really take pride in children's education. But retention of that information is often less mentioned among educators, or is often less mentioned, in just general topics or talking with, with parents, because it's the man behind the curtain. Without retention of that knowledge, where would your child's education take them in the future? One of the examples that I like to give to our older students, is that, the definition of a white belt in our martial arts program, the colors stand for things. The definition of a white belt is that a student that's a white belt is basically they're pure and they have very little knowledge of the martial arts. Conversely, a black belt on the other hand, is it being the opposite color, essentially is the opposite definition. This is a student that's mastered the basics. It's somebody that has a greater amount of knowledge of our martial art. So, if, however, a student goes from the white belt and they go to the yellow belt, but they forget their white belt stuff, other than being a better puncher and kicker, they're essentially a white belt again because they have very little knowledge of the martial arts. Well, this is kind of the same thing that happens over the summer with a lot of kids, is that without the retention of knowledge, where is that information going to take them? They're still kind of very much a white belt or sliding back to a white belt in those subjects where they already weren't super strong. So why should they learn healthy habits or self-defense or basic algebra or the names of the presidents or the names of the states or be able to spell or any of those things if they can't recall or even build upon that knowledge later? So this is really what concerns me and concerns our staff, and I hope that, you're not going to leave today, I hope that you'll leave today, learning how you can actually help your child retain what they're learning, and be it on the mat here with us at Sidekicks or at home, during these summer months. So let's go ahead and start. Before we start, what were your goals? When you first considered, like maybe you brought your kid to our martial arts program. What were your goals when you first brought them to martial arts class, or what are the goals when you first, asked, put your child into tutoring or Kumon or something like that? Perhaps your goals, like in the case of martial arts, a lot of parents bring their kids to our program because they want them to gain physical fitness, they want them to learn healthy habits, and they want to learn self-defense. And then chances are you want those goals to be consistent and continuous, or the results of achieving those goals to be consistent and continuous. So consider one of the takedowns that we teach in our basic skills class. We teach them what to do when someone grabs you by the wrist. Well, you grab the wrist, and you bring they grab you by the wrist, you energize that hand, and then you yank that hand out towards the thumb. We teach them that position, but just like an academic skill, such as having to perform long division, or how to, create a 5-paragraph essay they call it Florida Rights when I was a kid. I don't know. It's something with FSA now. This task is a procedural involving certain number of steps. These procedural tasks, which many would argue are some of the most important to retain, those are the ones that are most likely to decay. I got to tell you that if I had to, write a term paper using MLA format, I might have to go actually break out the MLA format book or even Google how to do it nowadays, just because it's been, 10 years since I was, I took a college class. So the same thing, happens with your kids. So, when we consider more residual, less procedural goals, such as making new friends, increasing their confidence and self-esteem, improving discipline, improving focus, what happens to those skills? As you know, we use our kids' martial arts program, to build the child from within and assist you guys, the parent, in reaching those goals that you have set for them. So taking a break during the summer, or just keeping your kids at home doing nothing, or taking a break from learning the kicks and punches, is taking them away from building their confidence and improving their focus. So, what are some things that you can do in order to help stop that summer slide? Obviously, if your kid's in martial arts with us here at Sidekicks, then, I would say, as far as their martial arts skills are concerned, continue to bring them to class. Like, that is definitely the number one thing, is don't just because it's summer and because their schedule's off, is to just, stay home. Because, child psychologists, they state that when children who maintain some sense of structured activity during the summer, like doing martial arts or, working on some sort of worksheets at home, they do better in the initial months of the academic school year to come. So martial arts training through the summer actually is reinforcing, a time commitment, the necessity to practice, reminds people to follow through, and actually gives them the learning environment they need to reinforce the skills that they're learning, which in turn strengthens their ability to retain their academic knowledge. So a lot of times, continuing to give them that structure continues to fire those neurons that they need to get down those pathways to recall information that's deep down in their long-term storage. So in making summer count, which was a research project by the Wallace Foundation. The intention was to understand how summer programs actually boost learning. And so the authors actually cite a lot of these important components, of a successful learning program. So, making sure that there was differentiated instruction so that it's coming at them in all kinds of different mediums, whether it's visual, auditory, kinesthetic, which all of those things happen in class at Sidekicks. We're telling them how to do it. We're giving verbal instruction. We're showing them so they can see how to do it, and then we're actually practicing it as well. Again, all that high quality instruction, making sure that it's aligned with the school year, so like if they're doing the class, that they're continuing and to maintain that's why we don't change the summer schedule. We don't go switch to classes in the morning. We keep classes in the afternoon because it would be after the time that they would come to class. Making sure that it's engaging, that it's rigorous. I mean, I don't know if any martial arts program that's not at least a great workout, and that it maximizes participation, and attendance, that's sufficient for the duration of that summer. So that means that, coming 2 or 3 times a week, every week for the summer. And then most of all, making sure that the parents are involved in what's going on, encouraging your kid, when asking them to show you what they learned during class, giving them high fives when they come off the mat. All of those are going to help them to reinforce and help continue to download and retain information throughout the summer. So, if that's really what it is that you want for your child, if you're already involved in our martial arts program at Sidekicks, then definitely make sure that your kid is continuing to come to class. Granted, I'm a bit biased because, I've trained in martial arts for 30 years and I am the chief instructor here at Sidekicks. If you're not enrolled in a martial arts program, I think you should get enrolled in a martial arts program. It's a great way, in the summer's a great way to get started because a lot of the other activities that kids normally do during the summer, those are kind of gone by the wayside. And really, martial arts classes like the ones that we do here at Sidekicks, by the way, both here in Fishhawk and in Wesley Chapel, those are also great ways in order to help kids. To do better when school comes back, to help kind of stop that summer slide a little bit by giving them that structure and that rigorous learning and training throughout the summer. In addition to wanting to talk about how to kind of stop the summer slide, we also encourage all of our students to do activities at home with their families. So I suggest you guys plan things that are fun but physically active, because obviously spending that time together is going to be irreplaceable. We also offer some really great summer camps, so you can spend time at home, and then also do really cool things, with us here at the school. So the very least of the factors here is that your kid's gonna, by training in martial arts or continuing to be active in a structured program, kids, it prevents weight gain, and it prevents summer learning loss, and it helps them, improve their emotional stability, and it improves their social stability as well. So the great thing about it is martial arts is a lot of fun. I have gotten, since I started doing these videos, I've actually been getting a lot of messages through our Facebook page about our web special, or about how people can get started started in martial arts with our program. Well, the one question I usually get is can they come and can they try class for free? Well, the answer actually is no. And here's why. Because basically the way everybody gets started in our martial arts program is they do our 6-week web special. Essentially what it is 6 weeks of unlimited classes. Now, we offer class Monday through Saturday at our Fishhawk gym, and Monday through Friday in our Wesley Chapel gym. And in theory, if your child wanted to come every single day that we're open for their specific age class, they could, because it is unrestricted. We don't limit you on what you can, or how many classes that your child can take. However, most families end up coming 2 or 3 times a week. That's about the magic number. Pardon me. That's about the magic number in order to be able to, train every week and make adequate progress and still get to do things like play with your friends and because we don't really want it to take over other people's take away over their entire life, at least at first. If they really dig it and it becomes their thing, that's awesome. So like I said, it's 6 weeks of unrestricted classes, and it includes actually the karate uniform for $69. Now, what is the goal during that 6 week special? Well, it's really twofold. Number one, we want them to get in there and start learning the basics of martial arts and find out if they enjoy doing martial arts, and more specifically, if they really enjoy doing martial arts with us here at Sidekicks. The second part of it is that you as the parent, if you were to come and try our program, one of our adult programs, we actually only offer what we call a 3-class web special. Because quite honestly, as an adult, after doing something one time, if it's the thing for you or not. You know what I mean? And so, however, with kids, kids are a little bit finicky. So we offer this really great 6-week web special to give you, the parent, the chance to see your child, kind of on a more consistent basis, to find out if martial arts for your kid is the thing for them. If they really enjoy it, if they're going to stick to it, if they get a great opportunity. Now, a lot of families don't need the full 6 weeks in order to be able to get started, which is why, at some point during the first couple of weeks of your web special, one of our team members will talk to you guys about your progress, find out how things are going, and then if everything is going great, we do have some really amazing new member incentives that kind of just encourage you to go ahead and become a full member on your first at that time. However, you got the full 6 weeks, because the goal is to get some basic martial arts, start building that confidence, get a little bit of physical fitness, learn some self-defense, and really find out if martial arts is going to be your child's thing. So that's really kind of the gist of how everybody gets started. So the whole thing is done actually online. So if you go to our website, which is kidslovesidekicks.com, you can pick whichever location that you want, and you just follow the registration process because you register right online. One of our team members will give you guys a call, make a reservation for your child's first day, and then you'll come in. We'll talk a little bit more specifically about what you want your kid to get out of doing martial arts, and then, hopefully be able to show you how martial arts is going to be able to help your child get to that. Also, our instructors are going to be doing what we call a pre-skills evaluation, or a pre-evaluation, to kind of just check and see where your child is physically, intellectually, emotionally, and socially. That they are, at the stage of development that the class that they're going to is the appropriate class specifically for them. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, it's a really great process because it's helping you guys to really kind of zero in on what it is that you guys want for your child in the martial arts, especially if you're kind of coming at this for the first time, trying to avoid that summer brain drain or that summer slide. And so I'm really, it's a really great process, and many people have come to it through the same way. And so that's essentially, if that's something you're interested in, like I said, go to our website, which is kidslovesidekicks.com, and go ahead and get registered right there. In fact, if you go and you're watching this video and you go do it right now, the code to get started, I'll actually give it to you for 50% off. So rather than normally being $69, you actually get it for $34.50. So if you use the code VIP50, VIP50, that'll actually get it for 50% off the web special. So that's a great way to check it out and get started. And if you're an action taker, go ahead and get cranking on that. Really? Cool. So again, this has been episode 15. I'm so excited to have been able to share this information about how to avoid the summer brain drain. Really, that boils down to, other than if you choose not to do martial arts, but it is put your kid or do something structured with your kid, give them that structured time frame throughout the day so they know what to expect, because kids thrive on structure. That will really help them avoid that summer brain drain. If we can help you get started with enrollment here with us at Sidekicks, again, go to kidslovesidekicks.com. Phone numbers for both locations are up there. If you have any questions, you don't hesitate to give us a call. And like I said, this is episode 15 of Powerful Days with me, Manny Cabrera, and I want you guys to make it a powerful day. Talk to you guys soon.